Hi, everyone. This is Alan Cowgill, and I am delighted that you're on this training. I have asked my marketing guy, Rich Hoffer, to do some very specialized training for my students, and I am excited that he's here. Rich, you out there?
I'm here. How you doing, Alan?
I'm good. I'm good. Rich and I have known each other for a number of years. I've had a whole list of things that he has done for me over the years, and I've asked him to share with you folks a little bit about some things that'll help you in your business. So you want to get a pad and a pen. You're going to take a lot of notes on this. Turn off your cell phones and any distractions. And Rich, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you to get started.
All right, Alan, thank you. And hey, everybody, hope you're doing really, really well today. You know, as Alan said, I spent my entire career in radio and television and marketing. I've worked for an advertising agency. I've had my own advertising agency. I've done stuff like sports broadcasting. I've done newscasts. I've been on TV. I was the voice of CBS television in Canada for 17 years. I've done talk shows before talk shows were cool. And in 1990, I decided to get into the sales side of things. And that's really where I got to my best education when it came to marketing and radio and television. And I found out that one of the things that really made the most sense was asking my clients a lot of questions to find out what made them successful. Without a doubt, they all had the right tools that they had invested in for their business. The right tools can mean all the difference between a roaring success and a lousy failure. And they all knew how to use those tools properly. And that's really what we're going to talk about here a little bit today is investing in the right tools. And you see on the screen the private lending for huge profits. That's a tool that I created a while back and has been very successful for people that got involved in that. And we're going to talk about that here and how it came to be in just a second. The one question I asked all of my clients was this one right here. What is the most important commodity that you have? And you know what the answer is? Every single one of them that was successful said the same thing. It's time. Time is the most important commodity. We only all have 24 hours in a day. How you choose to use it determines how successful you're going to be. If you want to go have a 3-hour lunch, okay. You want to go golfing, okay, that's fine. But your competition isn't golfing, and they're not having a 3-hour lunch. And basically, if you can take and squeeze in more efficiency into a limited amount of time, you're going to be more successful. I became one of the most successful people in clear channel radio sales across the country by doing one simple thing. And it wasn't a big thing, really. I decided I was going to see one more person a day. Now, I had a closing ratio in radio sales of about 80%. That's really good. But if I saw one more person a day, that meant 4 more sales a week. Now, think about this. 4 more sales a week. My average sale was $2,000. That's $8,000 in sales. I got paid 15% commission. Well, that's an extra $1,200 extra each and every week. That comes out to over $50,000 a year extra by doing one little thing, seeing one more person a day. That's making time work for you. I had a friend that was one of my early clients. He was in real estate investing, much like what you are. And at the time, you could advertise for private lenders on the radio. You can't do it anymore, but back then you could. And we had a commercial for him. He got swamped with people who wanted to make, at the time, I think he was paying 14% on his private lenders. But the thing that was really amazing is he calls me up and he says, I'm spending 30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes sometimes, going over the program with people, only to find out that they've got $1,000, maybe $5,000 to invest. How are we going to do this? So we sat down and we brainstormed for a little bit, and we came up with a tool. And this is the private lending tool that we came up with. Let me ask you a question. What do you think would happen if you had a tool that did this for you? If it talked specifically about your business, this is custom, okay? This is for you, not everybody else out there, just you and your business. That's what we did. We talked about his business. We gave his story. What if it educated your prospects? Now that sounds like I don't know, it seems kind of simplistic in my book. I mean, private lending is a pretty easy concept if you put it in these terms. If I said, give me $10 so I can have lunch today and I'll give you $11 tomorrow. It's private lending, right? Between you and me, it's a private loan. Well, the only difference between that and what you guys are doing is that you're asking for a little bit more money, a lot more money, to buy houses with. When you put it in that term, people get it right away. But otherwise, they have a terrible time coming up with what it is as far as private lending. We wanted to qualify the prospects because he was closing 15% of the people that he saw, okay? That was terrible closing ratio in my book. So we qualified him. On the CD that we created, and that's what we did, is we created this CD, we went ahead and we told people minimum investment is $25,000. So he didn't have to worry about that. If they had the $25,000, we wanted to move to step 4, which was motivate the prospects to action. Action being pick up the phone, call them, and make a face-to-face appointment. Here's what happened. He went from seeing 5 to 6 people a day, closing 15%, and spending 30 to 45 minutes a day or per person with each prospect. His meeting time went from 45 minutes down to 20 minutes. His closing ratio went to 50%. Was it a good use of time? Absolutely. Did he make more money? Yes, he did. And that, I think, was the big key. We changed the radio commercial. Instead of saying call for an appointment, we said call for a free report. Everybody loves free reports. And when they called for the free report, he got their name, their phone number, their address. Now he's building a database that he can use over and over and over again, even if he doesn't get them the first time out. Really interesting stuff. And what ended up happening was he became very, very successful. Okay, so that's the tool that we're talking about today. What does it sound like? Are you getting 6 to 8% yield from your CDs, savings accounts, IRAs, pension plans, stock portfolio, or other investments? If the answer is yes, congratulations, you're making some wise investments. But if the answer is no, and I'm pretty sure that it is, please pay special attention because the following information could help you grow your wealth by thousands of dollars in the coming years, simply by increasing the yield on the very same money you're investing now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about a way you can control your investments and make them grow 3, 4, even 5 times your current rate. Yes, I know, this sounds too good to be true, but if your rate of return is embarrassingly low, listen for a few minutes and you'll learn how you too can get a high rate of return. What I'm going to share with you is very common in real estate circles. It's been going on right under your nose in virtually every city in America. Smart investors have been utilizing this investment avenue for decades. This investment typically produces high yields and at the same time provides for security and even liquidity for the investor. So how would you use a tool like this if you had it? Well, Alan Cowgill is known worldwide as the man with $1 million lunches, the investor lunches. That's how he became famous. What if you had an investor lunch and you included this CD as part of your information packet? So they hear your presentation at the luncheon, they get in their car to leave, they pop in the CD, and they hear it again. In marketing terms, that's called frequency, and it's extremely powerful in getting people to do what you want them to do. Have you ever been on a call to meet with somebody and they weren't there? Maybe they got called away, their kids were sick, they had another important meeting they had to be at. And usually what do? You try and reschedule and you leave, right? What if you were to say to the secretary or receptionist, could you give Mr. Jones this CD and have him listen to it? If he hears something he likes, my contact information is on the CD. You leave it behind. And then you go, call him back in a couple of days and ask if he's had a chance to listen to it. One of the things that I really enjoy doing is golfing. And I golf a lot. I'm in Arizona where you can golf 12 months of the year. And I golf a lot with doctors and lawyers and CPAs and people that have a lot of money. And you wouldn't believe how many of these people are actually looking for you right now because they're not happy with their investments. They're not making money right now. The stock market is up and it's just going crazy, but it's not the time to invest in it. Nobody's sure what the economy's going to be doing and interest rates are super low. Well, how about this? What if you were at a party on a tennis court getting your hair cut, and the guy next to you is talking about how he's not making any money, and you said, you know, I've got an idea for you. I've got something in my car. Do you mind if I go and get it for you? And you hand him one of these CDs, and you say, give a listen. If you like what you hear, my information is on the CD and how to get hold of me. Be pretty easy, wouldn't it? I've done hundreds of these CDs for people all over the country. Each and every one of them is different because each and every one of them talks about them and nobody else. That's what makes it different. And I get a lot of emails from different people, and I'd like to share a couple of them with you now. Rich, had to write and thank you for the attention in coming up with the perfect private lending CD. I can't believe how great it was. You made the project so easy from start to finish. I met with an investor the next day and gave him your CD. He called 2 days later and said he wanted to discuss the details. I was looking for $50,000, but I didn't get that. I got $125,000, and I was able to buy 2 houses, not 1. I really think if it weren't for the CD, he wouldn't have invested with me. Thanks for all you've done. This paid for itself hundreds of times over. Dolores Spielbach from Houston, Texas. Now, the thing that I found the most gratifying in this was the last line, and I've highlighted it there. This paid for itself hundreds of times over. See, a tool should do one of 2 things. It's an investment. It makes you money, and it saves you time. Did this make Dolores Spielbach money? Hundreds of times over. If you gave me $1 and I gave you $100 back, would you do it again? Sure you would. Everybody would. That is an investment with a great ROI, return on investment. That's what I'm talking about as a good tool. Here's a lady that lives just up the road from Alan Cowgill, actually, in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Rich, we wanted to thank you for the great job you've done on the private lending CDs. The CD sounds great, very professional. We will not hesitate to call on you again, and we'll recommend you. And that's Kimberly Cattleman. Kimberly is a great lady. She and her husband do a super job.
Hey, Rich.
And, yeah.
Hey, you know, one of the nice things about Kimberly is I remember it at one of my boot camps when you were there. She stood up and wanted to make sure the whole class knew what you had done for her.
That's right.
I thought that was really super.
I met Kimberly in St. Louis a couple of years ago, and then she was at your Dayton boot camp.
Right.
And just a lovely lady. She and her husband are great people to work with, and I really appreciated that. You know, having her be there to actually give me a ringing endorsement at the boot camp. That was a lot of fun. But she's a great lady, and she's doing very well, I understand too.
Super.
That's good. Kimberly and Dolores were 2 people that I think really put the nail right into it as far as how this works for you. And it's a pretty simple process. So, okay, you're interested. How does this package work for you? What's involved? Well, at the end of this webinar, you're going to get a chance to go to a website and sign up or call an 800 number, okay? What's going to happen is a couple of days after that, you're going to get an email from me, and it's going to have 4 things in it. The first thing is a thank you note from me. The second is it's going to have a 14-question questionnaire and 2 scripts. These are just, in fact, I'll throw in Kimberly's script just for giggles. And we'll have a couple of scripts in there for you. Now, you're one of 2 different types of people, and I don't care who you are. Either you're a detail-oriented person or a big-picture person. One's not better than the other. They're just different. If you're a detail person, you're going to read the scripts. You're going to really go through it line by line. In fact, you may even start to edit the scripts to fit you, and that's okay. If you're a big picture person, you don't want to deal with the details. Fill out the 14 questions, send that back to me along with which one you like, and I'll do all the editing for you, okay? The other thing, and if you don't like either of the scripts, that's fine too. Tell me, I don't like them. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. We'll blow it up and start from ground zero and just make sure that it fits you to a T. Once I get an approved final script from you, you have the right to approve it before anything else is done. I go into the recording studio and we record it, we edit it, we make it sound perfect. And then we burn the CDs, we package it, we make it look very professional. And here's a piece of advice. You're asking people for a lot of money. Whatever you do, don't go cheap. People can sense cheap. And when you're asking people for a lot of money, they don't like cheap, okay? If you walked into a car dealership and you're going to spend $80,000 on a new automobile, you see really nice appointments all the way through. So that's something to really take a look at. This is what the product looks like. That's the cover. It's called Private Lending for Huge Profits. I had a professional graphic artist design the cover for me. It's in a DVD movie box, kind of like what you get if you went to Blockbuster and rented a movie. I use the same DVD movie boxes that Blockbuster does. I don't skimp on it. They're high quality, and they look really, really nice. So the thing that is interesting is you're going to get 100 custom created CDs to hand out. These, by the way, come to you ready to hand out. You don't have to do a doggone thing. Once you get the CD delivered to your door, they come in a big box. Hand them out. It's that easy. 100 custom created CDs in 100 quality custom clamshell cases. You get the professional cover that you just saw. Your choice of CD label. I don't care what you want on it. If you have a logo for your company, great, let's put it on there. I had a guy that wanted an eagle on all of his. Another guy wanted the American flag. Wonderful. Whatever you want. Normally, this package would sell for $999. And if you're familiar with custom created CDs, less than 10 bucks a CD is really a pretty good price. For instance, if you were going to try and do this yourself and use professionals all the way, you'd pay a scriptwriter about $350 to do it. Talent fees for somebody to voice it, $400. Studio rental runs about $150, depending where in the country you are. Figure $300 minimum for that. $250 to buy the CDs, to burn them, to label them. The CD cases run $75 for 100 of them. They're not cheap cases. I don't want cheap. The total cost, if you did this yourself, $1,375. And that is really not a bad price, but I'm doing it cheaper than that. Now, because you're students of Alan's, we're going to throw in some bonuses today. One of the bonuses Alan's students already have, and it's his PowerPoint presentation. This is one of the most powerful presentations I have ever seen. He did an excellent job on this, and I know a lot of you have used these at investor lunches. You've put it on a laptop and shown it one-on-one to clients as you're meeting with them, or potential investors as you're meeting with them. Here's the thing. If you've never done an investor lunch, think about all you have to do. You have to advertise it. You have to get the site. You have to do the registrations. You got to have somebody at the door greeting the people and making sure that they're all checked in. Oh, you've got to do the catering. You want to make sure the food is good. The room looks nice. And you have to memorize a 20-minute presentation. Do you know what the #1 fear in America is? Public speaking. And if you're like most people, that's probably the weak spot in all of this. What we're going to do is upgrade that wonderful PowerPoint presentation that Alan Cowgill's given you, and I'm going to narrate it for you. So all you have to do is sit back, push a button, let it play, and answer questions at the end. Is that a valuable tool? Here's what that would sound like. So how does your bank make money today? You go to the bank and buy a CD or a savings account or a checking account. And then they take that money and loan it out to other people at a superior rate of interest. People like Alan Cowgill, so he can go out and buy houses. What Alan is doing here is cutting out the middleman. Let's take a look at the private lender overview. Alan Cowgill buys and sells houses. When he buys a house, he prefers to borrow money from private individuals like you. He pays you up to 8% to use your money. It's really a simple plan. Think of it like you would with a bank CD, except you're avoiding the middleman and you're loaning directly to Alan Cowgill. Here's how Alan Cowgill's private lender program works. Alan locates a property that he wants to buy. He borrows the money from you to purchase the property. There's a formal closing and you get a mortgage on the home with other important documents. It's the ability of buying with cash that gives Alan the opportunity to buy at a discount. One of the other bonuses that you're going to get is called 30 Ways to Save $30,000. One of the things that absolutely amazed me when I was dealing with clients in the advertising and marketing game is most people don't understand advertising. They don't have a clue what to do. So what I did was I put together a 4 CD set that answers all of your questions. I don't care if you're advertising in the newspaper, TV, radio, cable TV, direct mail, billboard, bus board, the internet, you name it. It's on this 4 CD set. I'm going to throw this in for free. By the way, it's called 30 Ways to Save $30,000 because the average company in America loses $30,000 a year in marketing and advertising programs that don't work. Personally, I'd like to see you put that money back in your pocket. It's a tool that will give you the right questions to ask your advertising representative regardless the media that you choose to use. It's so important. Most people that go through and listen to this course come away with just bundles of ideas that is very, very important. Okay, today, $597 is the price for what we're talking about, to have a custom produced CD for you. I will also throw in the custom produced PowerPoint presentation narration from Alan's PowerPoint presentation. That I normally would charge $750 for. 30 ways to save $30,000 sells for $499. I will also do a 2-minute long on-hold voiceover for you if you have that capability of putting people on hold. I do that for $350 normally. I've done it for Midas Muffler's corporate offices. I've done it for DeVillis Ransburg. I've done it for Owens Corning. My voice is all over the place on hold, all over the country. If you don't have an on-hold system, that's okay. I'm not going to make you lose this bonus. We're going to substitute something of value for you, of equal value, so you don't have to lose that. And here's what I'm going to do for you today. I'm going to become your advertising agency for a year. Now, if you're familiar with ad agencies, you know those people work on billable hours, just like an attorney, just like a CPA. And if you're meeting with 6 people at a creative meeting, they're each charging you $75 to $150 each per hour. That gets to be a pretty expensive meeting. Wipe that off the table. I'm going to do it for free. I recently did an advertising campaign and a website, helped with a website for a couple in Colorado. And we were back and forth talking for probably 20, 30 minutes a time, 5 to 6 times a week, for probably a couple of months, getting this all squared away. We deal with the pictures on the postcards that they would send out. We deal with the verbiage that we would be on the postcards. We looked at the website and what pictures to include and how much verbiage you put on the website. What different pages do you have on the website? All of that. I will be your ad agency for a year. If you don't have a marketing plan, I'll write it for you. If you want to advertise somewhere and you want somebody to negotiate your rates, I'm happy to do that for you. I will do it all for 1 year. Now, what if you're not ready? A lot of people that see this presentation say, I'm just getting started. This is really nice, but I'm not quite ready yet. That's okay. If you buy it today, we do this on your timetable, not mine. Your 1 year of ad agency starts the day you call me and say, I need help. If that's today, if that's tomorrow, if that's 3 years up the road, that's okay. Your year starts when you want to do it. The same thing goes with the custom produced PowerPoint presentation. Some people, hey, they're not ready to jump into that yet. Fine, not a problem. The same thing goes with the custom produced CDs. That's okay too. When you're ready, that's when we do it. But, and it's going to sound like an infomercial here, and you're going to have to forgive me, but it gets even better. Because you're students of Alan's. Alan Cowgill's a friend of mine. We've been friends, as he said, for I don't know, 15, 20 years. If you decide that this is something that you want to do, if you think that this is the right tool for you to invest in to help you become more efficient with your time and make more money, then I'm going to give you the $999 value for the private lending CDs, as well as over $4,500 in value for the bonuses. We're talking about $5,500 in value here for just $497. $497. That's over 90% off of what I've charged people each and every day of the year. Now, to order. 2 ways to do it. Go to www.allensoffer.com/toolbox, or you can call toll free 800-584-3346. Again, www.allensoffer.com/toolbox, or call 800-584-3346 and tell them you want to invest in the right tools. It's
Yep.
that simple.
That's
I'm
awesome.
looking forward to working with you. And Alan, I'll tell you what, it is always a pleasure to be with you, my friend.
Yep, me too. I'll tell you what, that is a killer offer. I mean, the hundred personalized CDs are, I mean, you're giving them away for a steal. I know with that radio voice that you have, it's compelling, and I know those personalized CDs tailored right to the person does a number of things. One is it it gives them a tool, just like you're talking about here, a toolbox. It gives them a tool, another thing in their arsenal to attract private money. And the other thing too is they will come across so professional because it's talking about them, it's talking about their business, it's tailored to the way that they want it. I know you work with them on the scripts to get it just exactly the way they want it done, and then it's got your voice with it, and it's packaged professionally. So you talk about a win-win-win. It's the right way to present yourself, to the right folks at the right time. And speaking of the right folks, you would hand these out to family, friends, and associates. And if you want to work with strangers, then you have to take some steps with the SEC, and there's some rules on that.
Yep.
But that's what I teach. The other thing too is the 30 ways to save $30,000. Folks should not overlook that. Those 4 CDs are dynamite, and what a great way to give you some insight. Kind of Rich is pulling back the curtain on his marketing secrets, and just an awesome learning experience for you. And then the thing you would just put it over the top for me was where you took my PowerPoint presentation that folks have used to raise millions of dollars and put it out there with your voice. What a killer tool. And your point about being able to leave things behind with folks like that, to where they can watch things at their leisure and then come back and get a hold of the real estate investor. I think it's just a tremendous package that you're offering folks. And all they got to do is jump out there right now, go to allensoffer.com/toolbox. And on the website there, it's ALANS. I made my name plural, offer, OFFER.com, and then /toolbox, what we're talking about here. Or you can call the friendly operators at 1-800-584-3346. I'll give it to you again. It's 1-800-584-3346. And you should jump all over this. Normally, Rich only talks about what he's talking about here at my my live boot camp. And what we've decided to do is make it available for everybody because it's so powerful, and it's the right thing to do to let you folks know about Rich and what he does for folks. And he's done a tremendous amount to help me over the years, and I'm sharing him now. So you guys should jump all over this. Just go to allensoffer.com/toolbox. In fact, if I was you, I would just click down on your browser right now and head over there. And everything Rich talked about is displayed there, and then you just go ahead and click on the order button and get started right now. Don't miss out on this. Rich, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this. It has been a treat for me. I hope you had a good time, and everyone out there, I know you learned a lot on this.
Alan, it's always a treat for me to work with you and to be with you and talk to you. You're the best guy in the real estate investment industry, bar none, and I always find it a pleasure to work with you, my friend.
Well, thank you. Well, everybody, jump all over this. Go to allensoffer.com/toolbox. You will find Rich a fabulous guy to work with. He will take care of you. He's very attentive. He does a super first-class job, and that's why I'm taking the time to do this. So, everyone, to your wealth.